Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful sunny morning finally here in North Texas. We've had a lot of crazy rain, so I thought I better get out here now that everything looks amazing after all this rain and do an August of 2022 garden tour. As we do this garden tour, we'll go over and talk about what our future plans are for the fall garden, what we're planting out here because we have lost a few things, which means we have to go and buy some starts. A lot of my seeds didn't germinate, so it's been a year, but stick around through the video because we're also going to be discussing our future decorating plans. If you haven't been catching the series, the Fall and Decorate With Me of 2022, that will eventually lead us outside. That'll be the final episodes of fall leading into Halloween, and so we're going to discuss what that's going to look like here very soon. So let's get started on this garden tour. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps our channel to grow. Okay, we are going to start back here because I wanted to show you. So you can see this all got refilled in with mulch. But I have to go over here to get underneath. Sorry for the sun, y'all. So look at this amazing cucumber. With all the destruction that took place, there is still some good things. I'm not going to show you that cucumber. For those of you who are looking for knowledge to grow your vegetables in a pot, that is it's called a muncher cucumber. So you can see that it's growing just fine in that pot. It was 2 seeds, I believe. And I'm not sure where that video is, but I'll try and find it and link it down in the description. I think it was part of my late summer planting video. So you can see there's still some branches that are falling down, but I wanted to show you what it looks like now. So we got it all cleaned up, remulched everything. Unfortunately, in this garden there were butternut squash, honey butternut squash. There were 2 plants. There was one right here, and then there was one over here, and then there was I think it was a midget cantaloupe, all the cantaloupe. So when they dropped the trees, everything got smashed in here. We had already moved these pots out, but they have done some pretty good damage to my elephant ear. And then I'm going to show you how much water we have gotten over the last few days because I haven't emptied the cauldron over there. And then this is an American berry. You can just see it was nice and full, and you can just see the damage that it took. This is an eggplant, and she's still doing amazing. We have a little eggplant here. So these are the chives. These chives they've bounced back, which I am thankful for because they're starting to flower, which means they're going to seed soon. So these chives started out as one plant 20 years ago. And I took it from another property and brought it to this one. And originally it was planted over there where the raised bed gardens are. Now it's over here. But she's starting to flower. Here we lost a pot. That's one of the artichokes. So I want to show you, I've got to dump this pot. So this is my evergreen fern. You can see how much damage we had to get in here and cut it. And I honestly thought that I lost my hellebore here, but she's making a recovery. So I don't know if you all can see how full that is. That's how many inches of rain. What is that? About 12 inches? I know they say we got less, but over a course of about 4.5, 5 days, we've gotten that much rain. It's filled up. Okay, let me show you. We're up front in front of the house. I planted some beets in here, and these are the ruby red beets, the 60-day variety. They all started coming up, but you can see that the rain kind of pushed quite a few of them down. So since it's only a 60-day, I'm going to come back out and put some more seeds in this soil and kind of let them grow. So let me show you what I have here on the ground that's getting ready to go into the garden. So of course we have our marigolds, which is part of our fall flower planting. We have some celery right there that's going to go into the back. We have some red sweet peppers, which I absolutely love. I've got some midget, I think they're called midget toms, little bean toms. here, and these are going to be planted up at the top of these green stalks. We also have broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower down here. And when we go to the back, I'll show you, which will be later in the video, but when we go to the back, I'll show you what happened. So these are all being saved for flower pots. That poor little sugar baby survived the spider mites, was blooming and doing beautifully, got this torrential rain, and she died. It's just this horrible thing. She died. Okay, let's come over here and talk about what our future plans are up front. You can see I already have the reef on the door. Most of these bigger plants, the caladiums and the purple, what do they call that? They call it potato vine. Purple potato vine will stay, but you can see some remnants of some smaller flowers in here, and those are actually snapdragons left over from the spring. We're going to leave them in there, but we are going to fill this up with color, so it'll have when pansies come out, we'll have pansies and marigolds, and then around these pots down here we'll have big mums. These will be stacked with pumpkins, lots of pumpkins in the front end, the front entry. That's why we're doing the decorating for fall series, so that you can see what it looks like on the inside, and then we're going to show you what it looks like on the outside. So let's move over to the main front garden, and we're going to talk about what the plan is over there. And if you missed it, I'm sorry. This girl, she was struggling right up until we got all this rain. And look at these peppers. I'm trying to stay out of the sun and the shadows, but you can see them. I've got to get out here. I'm going to use some bamboo stakes, but in years past, you know, because the holes aren't very deep, so in years past the bamboo hasn't been enough, so we're going to do our best to kind of stake them up and keep them going. But you can see this is a Thai pepper, Thai chili pepper, and it's loaded with flowers. This is a Tabasco. Once she's now blooming, and she will harvest from her. This should make our, I want to say, our 4th harvest from her. And then we have, I think this is cayenne pepper here. Yes, this is cayenne pepper. She's got some flowers all over her. We got some, this is a California Wonder green pepper. So you can see it's kind of, I'm trying to stay out of the shadows, y'all, I'm sorry, what's going on. So if you like what you're seeing, please give it, and you find value in it, please give us a like and a thumbs up. It helps our channel to continue to grow. So let me show you the plan here. I'm gonna get out of the sun shadow. So this is typically our early spring garden. You can see we have some yarrow here and here. There is some tansy in there, but it's kind of died back. You can't really see it. I had just started cleaning this out really good to get it ready for mulch. Anyway, so we were getting ready to mulch right before the rain came in. So I've got to get in here, finish the cleanup. And then in here, we'll probably just put in pumpkins. We're gonna have a hay bale, like a harvest scene. So a hay bale with pumpkins and mums and flowers. You know, all the pretty little things are gonna be here. Here is another one of our, that we planted. What did we plant these? In the late summer. I believe this is a muncher cucumber as well. And she's doing a little different than the other one, where the other one went up. She went down, so I've been trying to train her to come back up, but she's, I apologize for the plane, y'all. She's kind of starting to, you know, mind, I guess. Anyways, here is our pumpkin. Now, of course, with the heat, even though we planted it at the right time there in July, it's just been too much heat, so it's struggled to grow. And just since we had this rain, it has taken over here, and now we have flowers on it. But honestly, y'all, it's not going to have enough time now to produce a pumpkin. Well, maybe it will, I don't know. I would say our first expected frost is expected November 19th. In years past, that has pushed all the way to December. This year has been a unique weather year for us here in Texas. So, well, actually the last 2 years have been unique weather for us here in North Texas. So we'll see. You know, I don't know. So these little beauties in here are our hatch chilies. And I had one of those little, I think they're called jack pumpkins, little bitty guy about that big. And I had thrown it in there, and well, that's what it did. The beans over here, again, have struggled through the heat, but they're still growing, they're still alive, and they're still healthy. So I suspect with this a little bit of cooler weather. Now I think we're going to stay low 90s now. It'll probably start to grow really well. Another one of my hatch chilies. Now this one looks a little putrid because this one was attacked by a hornworm. Now I haven't had any hornworms until now. And she's actually bounced back pretty good. She was bare, but now she's doing really well. And then of course you can see she got over here on this one too and did some damage, but we're okay now. We got her off of there. Now these little peppers here, these ones right here, are a little different than most peppers. These are those red peppers that you see in the store in the jars. They have either feta or goat cheese in the center of them, and they're jarred and usually olive oil, and they're kind of like an appetizer pepper, and they're sweet. That's what these are. I think they're called cherry pepper. Corn struggled with the heat. I don't know. It's still got some time to go, so I don't know if it's going to do any good. So here is one of our gardens. Now you can see that there are lots of carrots. We had planted carrots together in this bed for the late summer planting, and they did really well, but you can see I have things eating the tops of them. I'm going to say they're probably slugs, so we'll put a little bit of salt in the garden, and that should keep them away from everything. But I just recently replanted a bunch of carrot seeds. I don't know if you can see them, but they're all over in this bed. This rain has definitely helped. So again, these two pots right here are the cherry peppers. This is a hatch chili. Now my hatch chilies have done well through the summer, and we've got a few hatch chilies off of them, but just based off of how it went last year, this is about the time that they started to bloom and thrive and started producing. So I highly anticipate these guys are going to start producing more now. So let's talk about what the future looks like over here. Of course, these sunflowers, we're going to be doing an epic cleaning, and that'll be a different video later on in the coming weeks. We're also going to be doing a planting video over here, but these sunflowers are going to come down. I have planted new sunflowers along here, but just based off of what I'm seeing, I only see about 3 that have germinated, so I don't anticipate very many sunflowers coming up, so which kind of sucks because I have to leave these until I can get some kind of substantial flowers in here for our pollinators. So the sunflowers will come down. We've already planted right here. These are tomatoes. These are I think they're Sun Gold tomatoes are in this bed. And then in between, once I can do it and they come available, I am probably going to plant kohlrabi because none of my kohlrabi seeds came up, so I had to order more. But I'm going to plant kohlrabi in between there, and if I can find starts, I'd rather do that, but if I can't, it is what it is, and we're just going to go for it. So that's what's going to be in this bed. So this bed is already set. So this bed over here, its future, of course, has 2 celebrity tomatoes in it. It still has the basil left over from last year. And then along here, you can see them coming up. These are the purple pole beans, but again, pretty sure these are probably slugs getting in here and chomping away. They're not struggling, they're just getting eaten, so I've got to get something along the base here and kind of keep that from happening. Back here in these 2 pots, this is a flower. She's going to move up front because she's more of a fall flower. That's why she's back here in the shade. She's been in the shade all summer, but it's going to be her time to thrive here very soon, so we're going to move her up front. And then, of course, this big mama right here is a hatch chili. And you can see her flowers are starting to come on. And like I said, I fully expect these to start producing. Even though these peppers produce late for us, we still get quite a few. And you can see there's one over here that I got to get tied back up. I'm not sure why it came untied, but tie it back up and get that done over there. Let's move over to the next bed. Of course, this is the bed that we planted in late summer. These are our late summer tomatoes that we planted to have more fall tomatoes. This is the first succession, and these are the second. These varieties, I want to say, were 70 days, and they've been in the ground for 30 days right now. So we should start seeing, with all this rain, we should start seeing them grow crazy big. So Tomatoes are doing good. I've got some basil I've got to harvest and get that preserved. We're gonna clean this out, and I think over here, since I have the room, and I'll have to look up and make sure, but I'm probably gonna plant either a broccoli, cauliflower, or cabbage on this end to kind of fill this end up. Oh look, I got an onion growing, y'all. You see it down there? I have an onion that decided to grow. Okay, so let's move over to the next bed. This bed, however, its future was supposed to have a 50-day cucumber that was going along the back side here. But when we move out to the back, and I'll show you what's happened, because that the cucumbers will be able to grow here. Even if they don't, this bed will have, we have enough room to put one here, one here, one here, and one at the back. This will be cauliflower, cabbage, and broccoli in this one. And then of course, these all have, what are these in here? We have California red bell peppers, we have shishito peppers, and I think we have banana peppers over there in that bed. This bed, however, is where the majority of all of our cabbage and our broccoli, all that is going into. But I want to show you this bee balm that's down here. This bee balm has been itty bitty, little bitty, and this is what the rain did. She has just grown. And then the zinnias, oh my god, look at the zinnias, they're coming back in. Look at how beautiful they are, which is nice that they're coming back. Okay, I'm gonna step over here. We're gonna take this, I don't know much about cosmos. Let me know down in the comments if you know something about cosmos. I don't know if they're gonna come back. They're very green, but I don't know if they'll bloom again, so let me know down in the comments. So let me show you the jungle. So I had came out here, I started noticing that the water was pooling, and so we had pulled these. This one fell, and this one I just pulled apart. So I've got to, the plan is to take, I think just the bottom one down there doesn't have something planted in it, but to take anything that's over there that has something planted in it, and things that don't have anything planted in them, to get them out and get them gone. And then we'll, sorry, I got distracted by a basil that I thought was dead. We'll get those out and then just stack up the ones that have plants in them, get them staked up, you know, all the things. So let me show you how beautiful this jungle looks over here. So this is a basil that I thought was dead, and the rain has brought her back. So let me show you the sweet potatoes over here. You can see I've got to get back over here and cut more, but I have plants that are bouncing back, and I'll show you those here in just a minute. This is one of our sweet potato, you see them, one of our sweet potato bags. I had some green beans that I had started from seed that were about to come out. They were supposed to go in these bags out here, but unfortunately they were also damaged with everything. Of course, the zinnias, they're loving all of this rain. Now, this is the cardinal basil, and if you saw any of my other videos, I don't know if you can see this right here. You see that vine? That, I believe, is a morning glory that's growing right there, and I have no idea where it's coming from. But back to this cardinal basil. If you had seen in my previous video when it looked not so good, it's about to put on its show. It's going to get these beautiful flowers on top of it. Here is our other sweet potato vine, and we have lots of flowers and weeds that are growing up in here. We have more basil starting its way, and we have more beans, and then these two pots were supposed to get beans in them, and this one has a hatch chili. Now, this little girl, these right here that you all see, these are milkweeds, and I planted those for our monarchs, but unfortunately I think our monarchs are about to come through, so they're not going to have the flowers that they need. But look here, all this rain has caused everything that was dying back to start to thrive again, and I got more cleanup thanks to the rain. But here's all the things and all the peppers. Let's go out to the back. Okay, we've made it to the back. I wanted to show you all the beets in the bags that is growing. This rain has just kind of made them all kind of pop up. There's the chickens. They have not been enjoying the rain. Garden herb tower. Still looking decent. And then over here we have, these are aroma, trying to stay out of the shadow, aroma tomatoes, and as you can see they're doing really good. Now over here we had planted turnips, rutabaga, and rutabaga and turnips, and they were all doing really good right until the dog got in there and decided that this was now his new dog pit to dig in. So I don't know, I see a few that are still left over here, but not many. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the whole thing was full. And then these are our cherry Sweet 100s. This one right here is one left over, and then the others are all new. Lots of carrots in the bottom. Looks like I got something crunchy munchin, and maybe a pumpkin. I don't know. Random. Growing. This is one of the tomatoes that we saved, but you can see it's getting full. I'm not going to do too much trimming on it. I'm just going to tie it up. Passion flower is loving all the rain. I'm hoping now that we've had this rain, it'll kind of encourage the flowers to stay on the vine and not drop, and that way we'll get more fruit from them. Strawberries are under, but still thriving under there. Another strawberry tower. Nothing a whole lot has changed over here except for all the damage that took place. We've got some trimming to do over here though. So you can see my poor maple tree, she's just burnt up. But look at those flowers. Look at the glory of those flowers. See if I can get over that. Raspberries are hanging in there. We have a Kajari melon who is kind of taken over everything here. But I'm gonna stand back, you can see we are still cleaning up over here from all of the destruction that happened, and we're almost there. We just, you know, I like to be transparent with you all, and I just want to show you what's going on. Here is the pepper garden. It looks like I got some peppers I gotta get, but it's still thriving, doing well. We got the blackberry, she's kind of shooting off in all these other directions, and then we have, which was our tomatillas, and they're not doing so good, but it looks like we might also have maybe some hornworms in here looking. I haven't been over here in a couple of days, not since it rained. So here's the view, and then we've already started mulching, but we still got a lot of work to do over here to get it ready for fall planting. Take you back and show you the greenhouses. Show you my beautiful starts that were about to go into the garden right before all the rains started, and I had moved them, sorry for the plane, I had moved them up to the front because some of them are going directly, it was going directly into the garden, and some of them needed to be up potted. And so when the rains came, I had them out here on the table, and I wasn't expecting it to be that kind of a crazy rain, and they got a lot more damage than what I would have wanted them to get. My little one's crying because he can't come outside with me. Still got the spider. She's still straight up kicking it in here. So you can see these were beans and cucumbers, and a lot of them got broken over. I'll see if I can save them. I don't know. We'll see. And then here are my collard greens. These were ready to be up potted when they got all this damage. Those are all my cabbages that were growing really well. And these were the opal, what are they called? Opal basil that should turn black. But I don't know. We'll see what happens, and we'll see. None of my celery came up. None of my celery seeds came up. So what are y'all planting for your fall gardens? Let's have a look at the girls. They're quite muddy right now. I gotta come out and feed them. So here they are. Those of you who haven't seen them in a while, they're doing pretty good. This is Paisley looking at us. This is Ruby. That one, big girl, white girl right there, is Pearl. This pretty Easter egger little red and chocolate or red and black one is Ostara, and then that beautiful girl right there, that's the showstopper, that is Raptor. Paisley wants to say hi. Say hi, Paisley. She's kind of the star of the show. She's the attention I want it all kind of girl. I know the gardens don't look like much right now, but you know, we've had a heck of a hot summer here in Texas, hotter than it has been in years past. So hopefully next summer and next spring will not be as hot as it was this year. But as soon as this fall garden takes off, I fully expect everything to be green and beautiful and full once more. Thanks for hanging out with me in this video. Until I see you in the next video, you all take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.